What's the key, you might ask? Excluding factors such as knowledge and intelligence that separate students who are stronger in academic performances compared to those who aren't. And what is something that we can do and in control of that leads us to better educational outcomes and performance at work.
Hello people, welcome back to the channel. I'm Bolan Huang, a media and culture undergraduate at Lancaster University in the UK. On my channel, I help you summarize TED Talks and offer you tips that lead your life of contentment, fulfillment, and happiness. Today, we're going to look at a short yet powerful talk by psychologist, author, and professor Carol Dweck called The Power of Believing That You Can Improve, in which, as can be seen by the title, Dweck argues how a shift in our mindset and believing that challenges make us stronger can actually make us stronger. Let's get started. Since finding the term "not yet" beneficial in terms of showing students a path into the future and that they are on a learning curve, used by a school in Chicago when pupils didn't achieve above a certain grade, Dweck became very interested in investigating how children respond to challenges and difficulties. Hence, to put this under examination, the Stanford University professor teamed up with other fellow psychologists to give juveniles questions that were slightly too difficult for them to see how they would respond. Subsequently, at the end of the study, there appeared to be two very different reactions expressed by the participants. On the one hand, some had really enjoyed the task and even hoped it would be helpful for them. For this group, Dweck considered them as having a growth mindset, while, on the other hand, feeling that the test was utterly disastrous. A number of kids not only failed, but also thought that they will cheat the next time or find someone who did worse than them so that they can feel better. The 75-year-old psychologist regarded them as having a fixed mindset. Added to that, Dweck maintains, in order to guide youngsters to focus on not yet, we ought to praise them adequately. In other words, compliment their engagement, focus, and effort that was put into their task, instead of their talent and intelligence. Indeed, through the example of an online math game that praises students for their attempt and perseverance, it was shown that the game had an increase in participation and effort over the long term, unlike the usual ones that only congratulate pupils' performances. Further, after explaining to minors that pushing themselves out of their comfort zones, neurons are able to build new, stronger connections, did schools then see a sharp increase in children's grades even in areas where underperformance is common. Taking the South Bronx and a Native American reservation as an example, the schools in both neighborhoods rose to the very top of their district in performance in less than 1.5 years after learning about it. To sum up, Dweck says, now when we are aware that children have the ability to improve, it is hence a right for all children to grow and thrive in the places that are filled with yet. Looking at those children who were devastated when they received a hard test in the study that was mentioned in the talk, a number of us may find their reactions quite funny and childish. Nevertheless, how can we apply what Dweck says in her talk into our daily life and not be as pessimistic and negative as those youngsters? In my opinion, what the psychologist argues is not just pure psychology, but an attitude I think we should all adopt in life. After watching this TED Talk, I think the most important thing I've learned is mindset matters more than anything else. That is, through the experiments illustrated by Dweck, in my point of view, it demonstrates that even though we might not be in control of what is happening to our environment, we are nonetheless able to take control over the inside, specifically our emotions, mindset, and actions. Take this for instance. There are many of us who feel like we're trash, can't do anything well, and doubt if we can even succeed. However, everything is a matter of perspective. We can either think it's the end of the world, we're gonna die, or we can take action and do something about it. Looking at the children from those studies shown by the author of the book Mindset, albeit that their grades did get better after 1.5 years since they learned that challenges are beneficial for the brain, they may have not actually got smarter. But what happened was Dweck simply helped them to change their perspective towards challenges and difficulties, thus igniting the spark of confidence and energy among the children, which led to their unexpected substantial growth and success. What is also worth noting is, after the end of the study, they have proved to themselves that they are far more capable than they thought they are. As for us, it is no different than for those children. We also have potential and we also have our own unique abilities, but we simply never believed that we can do it, so it never happened. Nothing in life has meaning except for the meaning we give it, says the famous life coach, philanthropist, and entrepreneur Tony Robbins. Certainly, with respect to our failure specifically, we can either interpret it as terribly discouraging and a waste of time, or we can choose to view it as a lesson and a means for us to improve. Therefore, it is this time we can consider adopting a quote from Thomas Edison for developing a growth mindset. I have not failed, I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Hence, I believe it is solely by viewing the matter with optimism, the eagerness to change and improve, that we can eventually reach our goals and succeed. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, you might want to take a look at this video over here, where I explain the mental and physical approaches that you can take to achieve pleasure and, more than that, happiness. Again, thanks for watching, and don't forget to leave a comment below, turn on notifications, share this video, and subscribe to my channel. And I'll hopefully see you in the next video. Bye bye.